Hey
Hey
guys,
guys,
you know
you know
who it
who it
is.
is.
It
It
is your
is your
boy
boy
Greg with
Greg with
That
That
Pad
Pad
Gaming.
Gaming.
Today we're
Today
gonna
we're
do
gonna do
something a
something a
little
little
different.
different.
We
We
usually
usually
have a particular method about how we go about reviewing games, um, and today we're gonna kind of break the mode a little bit. Um, this is going to be a review, but it's also gonna kind of be like a conversation about Gotham Knights, um, because I've got a few issues with this game. Now I'll be clear up front. Some people are actually going to enjoy it. And that's fine if you enjoy it. I never want to discourage anyone from like enjoying a game that they like, unless they are playing only one type of game. Then I'm always going to encourage you to try different type of games. However, Gotham Knights is mid as fuck. There, I said it. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of go over a couple things that really kind of grind my gears and try to pretty much take me out of the experience. Now, starting out is our opening scene, which is kind of starting now. Um, so, of course, we got our boy Bruce here, and Bruce looks really good. I love the art style of this game, as far as the characters
If
go,
you're
at
watching
least.
this, I'm dead.
You know what I'm saying? Look, cool ass Batmobile. A little bit of texture pop there, which is weird for a cutscene, but whatever. The Batmobile looks really awesome. So here's my first thing. We got Batman here and now. Thing about Batman is he's going against Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul, however you like to say it. They're both correct. But usually Ra's al Ghul is not gonna try to kill Batman. Only time he usually tries to kill Batman is in the instance that Damian Wayne is actually already alive, because he also, of course, finds his own grandson to be a worthy successor. So just the fact already that we're kind of starting here is kind of a weird spot for anyone that's like a lifelong Batman fan. Regardless, this fight is really, really cool for the most part. Got some fisticuffs. Boom, look, got his utility belt up out of there. Batman looks weird as hell without his utility belt, of course.
Still flourishes in Gotham, lurking in every shadow. You don't need
You know what I'm saying?
I know it's you.
All right, here's the reveal, which I think Ra's al Ghul, he looks really cool here. I love most of the character designs. Most of the characters themselves look really, really great. You know? Boom. He even uses the circle move from the Arkham Knight games. Now, check this out. Batman without a cape and utility belt, you kind of realize that Batman is thick with like 5 Qs. That man got cakes. Pause. But anyway, here's like my first problem here. So, of course, we're in the Batcave, so he has all of his nifty devices around. He's able to cauterize his own wound just fine. Was going about stuff. He's reaching out to the Bat family, like, "Yo, I'm getting beat up here." Now, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm gonna pause, okay? So, this is one of the biggest issues that I have already, like as far as like the story goes, which makes it hard, in my opinion, to get behind the story of Batman being dead. Which, from what I've seen in the game, I've not played the entire game. I've tried my damnedest to play this game, but anytime I play for more than an hour, I end up switching games or I end up falling asleep. No exaggeration, this game is boring as shit to me, and I legit fall asleep every time. Quite honestly, I just woke up from a nap because I watched the scene and then tried to watch over some of my gameplay footage and fell asleep on it and ended up taking a 2-hour nap. This game literally puts me to sleep. But anyway, so check this out. We got the shurikens in the back of the Bat computer.
Help you. I'll deal with you myself.
How many times have we seen Batman, the Batman, use that trick? Okay? which already to me is like really kind of left way. It's like whether you're playing the Arkham games, whether you're watching him do that with like the remote control batarang, or you're watching him do that with exploding batarangs, or you have like there's so many situations, so many Batman stories where he uses that trick, like so many. So that so the first thing, and this still isn't even me overanalyzing, when I first saw that playing through, and I think I have the recording, maybe I'll like stitch it in, we'll see, I don't know. But when I first saw that, that was the first thing I thought, and I think I even exclaimed it aloud, like, wait, why did he fall for his own trick? Weird. Ra's al Ghul literally sits there and stalls long enough for those shurikens to explode. Let's carry on. So, you know, that ass is on fire. Another cool thing here, the Bat Cave is really dope. Obviously, it's inspired by the comics. We've got all type of memorabilia from his Crusader adventures out here. We got the dinosaur, the giant penny, the giant Joker card in the back there. We've got the Batwing. So really cool. So that's something cool for the fans. But then again, that also represents how experienced this Batman is. He's been around the block a few times. So again, this fight is pretty cool. And then for the most part, outside of that explosion, they kind of show that Batman is either in control of this fight to some degree, or at least competing here. There's not really many parts of this fight where Batman is not in some type of control. I'm saying, like, he loses control here. I mean, which makes sense. So it's Batman, he's fighting in the Batcave. Like, he is on his home field. He has home court advantage. You know what I'm saying? So he's fighting. Son, get off me. Look, watch. Boom. Again, things that only Batman can do, again, because Batman is where? In his own home.
You should know by now that you cannot defeat me.
You know, we got more cool weapons and shit throughout the Batcave. This makes sense. He activates the powers of the Lazarus pits, and now he's going ham. But regardless, Batman's still hanging with him a little bit. I forget, and I don't know exactly whose axis it is, but clearly it's imbued with the power of some type of god, because it's able to withstand the power of that sword. Okay. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Look, okay. So here we go. This. Prepare for this, okay? Like, if you've not seen this game, prepare for this, okay? Because this is confusing.
I'm not afraid of dying. I'd rather keep my humanity.
Why does he do that? There is not a reason at all why he does this. Again, this is a Batman who is experienced and seasoned. Let's watch that again, okay? We'll watch this again.
I'm not afraid of dying. I'd rather keep my humanity.
Okay? Why does Batman stab himself, mortally wounding himself, just to perform a non-lethal headbutt? For someone that's supposed to be one of the greatest tacticians in the DC universe, why does that make sense? I don't know. It's a really weird decision. Look. Boom. He wakes up seconds later. Why? Because it was a headbutt. We cut to black for a second. Of course, our thick-ass hero is here. He's hobbling around because he just stabbed himself for no reason at all. So it just kind of makes me feel like Batman stabbed himself for the convenience of the plot. You know? And I try not to be negative, but these are things that bother me. Now, this picture is so important to me. Okay? Let me stress this for you. How far we've gotten into this here. This Batman is so experienced in his tenure of being the Dark Knight that he has trained Robin to the point to he's Nightwing out doing his own thing. He's trained Batgirl into, of course, Batgirl. She's been through the phase of Oracle, back into Batgirl again. Trained Robin, which this is Tim Drake here. He trained Tim Drake to the point that Tim Drake is already showing the possibility of him being a better detective than Bruce Wayne, which obviously in this iteration of Batman, it's very easy for whatever reason. And then Jason Todd. Now, the thing is, the Red Hood, his costume would not be here in most instances. The fact that his costume is here means that he's been the Red Hood long enough for Batman and Jason Todd, or Bruce Wayne and Jason Todd, to make amends. So, based on all of these costumes being here, based on the age of Robin, based on her not being Oracle anymore, based on this guy here being a complete grown man, and this guy being a complete grown man that no longer has a super grudge towards this guy, it's safe to assume that this Batman is Batman at his tactician prime. Why did he fall for his own trick? Why did he decide to stab himself for a non-lethal headbutt? I don't know, man. But anyway, we'll go on. He's like, yeah, man, I love these guys. I trained them all to be warriors, and they're great warriors, which they should be. He's all beat up and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? He's got a hole in his stomach that was self-inflicted for no reason. And then, of course, he activates the self-destruction sequence here.
Your precious family. I will slaughter them one by one. And when they have drawn their last breaths, I will burn the city to the ground.
Mm-hmm. Now, check out this next line.
You won't get a chance.
Why not?
Gotham is their city now.
Cool last line, right? Yeah, Gotham is their city now. Yeah, which obviously sets up the game. So everything has to go explodey boom boom. Of course, Rage is pretty upset. Batman makes peace with the fact that he's about to meet his maker. Boom, superhero clash. All right, so of course the Bat family, they pull up, you know, and we'll just skip forward here. They're looking around. They find the guy, and he's actually really dead. Let's go back just a little bit. Yeah.
I know you have to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it's come to this.
He's really dead. So Batman is actually really dead, as far as I know. Now, I've not completed this game, and quite honestly, I'll probably not complete it. As much as I adore Batman and the Bat family, again, I find this game to be really boring. Oh yeah, here we go.
He knows none of us were there either, right?
So yeah, here we are. So this is like one of the coolest things, is the way that they introduce the characters in opening game. Of course, we already know who these guys are, but I thought it was kind of cool the way that they let you kind of skim through each character and get a good look at them and their character models, which all of their designs are amazing.
Works behind the scenes.
And we kind of get to do this in the midst of the cutscene, which I thought was really cool.
Catherine wouldn't be there if she suspected.
Anyway, let's go ahead and move forward here. Clearly, I respect this game too much. I didn't know how jank it is. But one of the biggest problems with this game is that the stealth attacks or the stealth takedowns are mapped to triangle, which is the same button that your range attacks are mapped to. So there were many a times that I actually went to do a stealth takedown, and then I just ended up throwing a batarang at someone instead. And it can be super annoying. here's like some basic combat. The issue here is you can literally press square to win every fight. It doesn't really take much effort. For the most part, you can win fights with one hand. Like, I can play most fights in the game regardless of how many enemies with one hand. In a lot of cases, like, it's almost completely useless to worry about your left hand and moving around because the AI is so wonky that they're just gonna approach you mindlessly. You can just dodge them and press square and square them to death. Oh, see, boom. Wow. And this is the coolest that the combat looks like. A lot of times when you're doing like one-on-one fights, things look really cool. Yep. Oh, here we go. Doing more fights, dodging. And this is all just press and swear. Now the thing is, I know that a lot of superhero games have a pressing square to win mechanic in fights. The difference here is like these are low level enemies, so it makes things a lot more like drastic in proving that point. But it's like when you look at the Arkham Knights game, there's a square button or the X button if you're playing on Xbox where you're attacking. You have triangle for counters, circle for like the cape stun move, and then X to jump and or dive. And it ends up setting up in a way where circle can be used as an offensive or defensive capability, and your counters are defensive capability. This game doesn't have any type of defensive options. Your defensive options are dodge or kill yourself. So there is no block, there is no parry, there's just evade. And furthermore, once you actually kind of get into the mechanics and fights of the game, you are pretty much waiting for your meter down here, the momentum bar, to fill up for you to do any type of respectful damage to any of the big enemies. Where, like, for like the likes of Spider-Man will give you like your takedown meter, and you can kind of take people down and, you know, and work those combos up that way. Here you don't really get that, so you feel like, especially when you get in some like deeper game fights, you feel extremely underpowered for the most part until those momentum bars start to stack up. And if you are outnumbered as you get a little deeper into the game and you go in without any momentum previously stacked, you're more or less going to get taken advantage of until you manage to dodge and do stuff. See, here we are. Let's read this. Gotham City needs its new Guardian. Complete knighthood challenges to unlock powerful new abilities for each hero, including their unique heroic travel. Track the challenge in the back computer using the challenge tab or challenges tab. So yeah, so as we see here, they all have their own traversal abilities. Again, Lazarus Pit, double jump, plot, I guess. But yeah, like this, you have to, so basically in order to do this, you have to, you have to go to training mode, which I believe will actually show it here shortly. Yep, I think we're going over the challenges here. Yep. And then, that's cool. Come over to knighthood. So check this out. Complete the time strike training in the training zone, which is like a 30-second deal. That's fine. And then from that as well, we need to stop 10 premeditated crimes. And then we also have to fight and defeat 3 mini bosses in the world. The 3 mini bosses isn't all that bad. It's the fact that sometimes it'll take you to go through multiple runs on night patrol in order to get 10 crimes. So yeah, it ends up taking you like a good hour to 2 hours, depending on your luck, in order to actually unlock the ability. That cycle's kind of slow. That was me literally falling asleep and not turning. I remember that. Why did I fall asleep? Because driving the bat cycle was boring. And that's what I find myself doing here a lot, is opposed to like exploring the city, and not to compare, because I understand that this is WB Montreal's first solo attempt at a Batman game. Yes, they made Arkham Origins, but Arkham Origins was literally ripped off of the backbone of Arkham City. So this is the first time they've made a Batman game from scratch. But opposed to in the Arkham games where I could feel incentivized to explore the cities openly and just look around and see what the city has to offer, here I find myself a lot of times just going straight to that map, looking around and planning a waypoint and just going to go do the thing. Very seldom do I find interesting things happening in the middle of my my adventure or on my way to where I'm going.
You're just another hero abusing upstanding criminals.
Yeah.
No more playing around.
Yeah, cool beans. Why am I sitting here getting weld on, you say? Let's see. Let's just... Let's see. I wonder if this is another instance where I doze off. Alright, so there is at least this. If I get tired of trying to unlock his ability, which I still haven't unlocked, I can just be Spider-Man. And there's nothing that stops me from being Spider-Man. Except for the fact that the web swinging here isn't web swinging, it's grappling, hooking, and jumping, and it's not nearly as fun as web swinging. But that is an option. And also, check this out. We go all the way down. You know what I'm saying? And we just web swing some more. We can get anywhere we need like this. Which I would argue is a little bit more engaging than the bat cycle here. But just not as fast. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, all in all, I'm regretfully not really enjoying this game much. Like I said, I didn't want to give it like an official review. But granted, at the beginning of this, I said that this game is mid as hell. But if I did have to give it a rating, it would be a 5 out of 10. There are definitely things that are cool about it. The customization is pretty decent. To an extent, you don't like necessarily customize, but there are different armor sets that you get. You don't get them modular. It's just like an entire armor set. The crafting is just meh. Just use the parts and make it. The combat is really, really uninspired. But like I said, the character design is really cool. I don't know, man. Like, this is one of those games that, oddly enough, I could not recommend to a hardcore Batman fan. But someone who has, I might have fallen asleep right here. But someone who is a parent, maybe they have kids that like comics and like superheroes, I would definitely recommend this to them, because they would probably be a little bit better to play something like this, as they're not necessarily looking for combat that has any depth to it, and they can just run around the city for hours just doing whatever and wouldn't be bothered by things like frame rates and such. Which, for the most part, I have a TV, a high refresh rate TV and monitor, and I'm able to play with variable refresh rate. So I actually did not see a lot of frame dips, but there definitely were some frame dips that were unavoidable that aren't really captured here. But nonetheless, man, like I said, if you're enjoying this game, like, more power to you. I'm actually very jealous that you're enjoying this game. I hear that the story is kind of interesting. this game cannot hold my attention for more than an hour for me to actually get into the story. I've played maybe about 5 or 6 hours and about 5 or 6 sit downs. I cannot. It pains me. I love Robin. I mean, I adore all the Robins. I adore Batwoman. I wonder if I fell asleep right here, and I was just like leaning on the analog sticks. I don't know what's going on here. It's actually making me a little dizzy. I hope it's not making you guys dizzy. But regardless, man, it's your boy Greg from DadPad Gaming. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm gonna skip past this, and yeah. And again, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.